Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas
and Aušra.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 318 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Sjouke, and he writes, Hi Vidas and Ausra. Today I have finished a morning practice session for about 2.5 hours, and then after that I was done for, meaning very tired. I get that way, my back is hurting and between my shoulder blades, etc. Although I am not very good at it, playing the organ that is, still I try to get to the church at least once a week, because others also want time behind the organ, which is understandable, and I do not begrudge them that. And I am working at trying to get a key for the church, so I do get more time behind the organ. I do have an organ at home, and I enjoy playing of it, but of course the sound is different, so that is why I go to church to practice. But it seems that I'm a slow learner, being 72 years of age does not help, but that is frustrating me. I usually pick pieces that I know that I can learn. A couple of months ago I heard a friend of mine play Wachet ruft die Stimme by Bach, and I asked this friend of mine if he thought I could learn this piece. His reply was to try, but to take it slow. I have done that. Now this piece has 4 pages, but it is going very slowly. And I do not mind telling you that I get impatient and frustrating for a piece of music of this kind. I can work on it for a year before I can say I do know it now, and I can play it at home with no problem, but in public is another story. I played for a congregation for 15 years, and it took me another 8 years before I felt comfortable enough that I did not get overly out of control nervousness. 1.5 years ago the church closed its doors. Too bad, for I really enjoyed my time there. My question to both of you is, how do I get over this out of control nervousness? I done a performance last March, I believe, and it was not very good. I did know the piece I was playing, which was an improvisation by Diane Bish, Great God, We Praise Your Name. I do not know if you know it, but it did take a while for me to learn it. Anyway, is the nervousness really I need help with? Please do not suggest a psychologist, for I did see one for 3 years and not without help. Thank you for answering this question, Sjouke. This is really a common problem people are having about nerves during public performance. It can make or break an organist in public.
That's true, and I think it's a common feeling for anybody who is performing. So I think the trouble is that maybe Sjouke is not performing publicly often enough.
Right.
Because usually what helps is frequent performances for somebody else. Because the more you appear in public, the more you can learn how to control your nervousness.
If we look at our Undamaris studio students, we already teach for like 8 years, I think. And some of them are still with us right from the beginning. So from the start, those people were really weak in their public performance skills. But now look, they are quite comfortable. Not confident enough, but maybe comfortable while playing in public. In your opinion, Osha, how much time does it take for a person to feel more comfortable with their nerves?
I think it depends on a person. I think it's probably different number for everybody. I couldn't tell you a number.
Mm-hmm.
But the more often you do it, the better it gets, the more comfortable you will feel.
Probably not 8 years, as they say, as we see with our studio. I think less, maybe a few years, if you perform regularly. Not once a year, obviously, but maybe like I don't know, once a few months. You don't have to play entire program, maybe one or two pieces. A good place to start is a schedule, prelude and postlude, or communion with your friend organist at church, and they will be happy to
But
help you.
what Sjouke taught in his letter, and I think it's sort of general tendency in Europe that more and more, services are dismissed and church are closing. And I heard, a couple maybe years ago that like Dutch are shipping their organ, selling their organ to Africa.
And South America.
And I just thinking this is just too bad. Where are we going to?
I think we have one Dutch organ too in one of the churches installed recently in town. Not very bad organ.
At least I hope that the best, historically, interesting and valuable organs will, remain in their native places, because it's so important. Because I strongly believe that the organ needs to be built for that particular place and should not be moved somewhere else, because it's part of that, architectural structure.
Well, let's take Africa's or South America's example. If church closes doors in the Netherlands and they feel the need to sell it or donate it overseas, is it better for the organ to keep silent for decades or to be played?
Well, I would rather have it silent. And because I'm afraid if we will go to Africa or South America, think about climate, let's say in the Netherlands, and think about climate in Africa or South America, it's completely different. And because the metal of organ pipes is sort of soft metal, yes, as you know, it might flatten and collapse quite easily. And another thing, other pipes are made wooden pipes. And let's say if you will take Northern Europe, as the Netherlands, I would consider them part of probably Northern Europe.
Right.
Well, you could use, even maple to build an organ and everything would work fine. If you would take the same pipes to Africa or South America, we would be eaten by worms, local worms. Because simply that would be just too sweet for the climate. And worms would be very happy, to receive delicious pipes from Europe.
I know what you're thinking. Let them ship their organs to Lithuania.
Well, yes, we would be happy to have, historical Dutch organs in Lithuania. But, at the same time, we have many spectacular organs here that really need restorations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's part of our responsibility of each of, person who thinks broadly enough that we would preserve our historical heritage.
Mm-hmm. This is true, obviously. And the other thing Sjouke wrote is that he's thinking about playing Wachet by Bach. This is a very sweet piece. Not very easy though for beginners.
Well, for me, for example, it's easy when you have only two voices, pedals and right hand. But when the left hand comes in, then it's harder, and cadences are especially hard.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think so? Even for a professional, you have to work on those cadences.
Now that I remember this piece, I think I'm going to assign Wachet to one of our Undamari students.
But it's so beautiful. I think it's worth no trouble of learning it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really one of... Because if you would think it's taken from collection of Schubler's chorales, that Bach himself actually arranged to be played on the organ from his cantatas. So I think Bach himself liked it and saw a value of this piece. So it's really a work of learning.
Mm-hmm. Right. The fact that it was published means that it was important for the composer to preserve it for future generations and also arrange it for the organ. And maybe it's a sign that we should not be afraid of arranging other organ music or orchestral music to the organ. It sounds beautiful sometimes too.
Yes.
So we could close our conversation with maybe reassurance to Sjouke that yes, this piece could be done by him, and that he needs to take frequent breaks when he practices so that his body would not go tired.
And another suggestion would be sometimes if you know that you will have to perform in public, in some time, you can prepare in advance, sort of scaring yourself about how you will feel during that public performance. And sometimes, you can relive those emotions even without having an audience.
Oh.
And then see how it goes.
I know what you mean.
You can imagine, that already you are in a real performance. That might help sometimes too.
This reminds me, I've read some place that ancient samurai from Japan had a saying that you should constantly imagine death coming to you in many ways, dying from spear, sword, water, falling, stones, fire, all those warrior things. And then when the time comes to die, they will be ready. You see, so if we as organists could imagine the worst situations ahead of time, then the real situation would not be as scary. We hope this was useful to you guys, and please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your SS courses and all your help."
Robert writes, I found the fingerings, registration ideas, and general comments to be excellent.
John writes, I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor.
Robert writes, it has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching.
Ron writes, Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward.
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas
and Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.